Hello and welcome back for another clarinet tutorial from Nottingham Music Excellence. I'm going to play this super piece in the Grade 5 clarinet book by Barbara Arens called Witcher's Dance. A challenging piece, I think, for Grade 5. This will test a few players out, but a lovely piece, a super piece, quick, lively and quite tricky in places. And I'm going to demonstrate the music and then say a few words about the detail and what you need to put in there to make it sound really awesome. And then get your Bluetooth speaker ready because you can have a go at playing along with the accompaniment by yourself. So hope you enjoy the tutorial. Here we go. Okay, so you've heard the music. Let's say a few words about the detail of the piece and what you need to do to make this sound really awesome. So, right, what should we say about this? So, it says wild, wicked and weird. Certainly a tantalising and tricky piece for Grade 5, this one. It's certainly got its demanding moments. And I have to say, trying to play it along with the backing track, this one was really difficult. Because the quavers in the piano part were just so quiet. There's just a few places in there where I just couldn't quite lock on to the tempo. And you'll find that yourself when you play it. But I think this is a super choice for Grade 5. I think there'll be a few players having a go at this for sure, if you can play it. So it starts off okay, doesn't it? So already though, you're sort of growing in the sound. Make sure by the end of that first line you've got a good sound going up to the MF. And then you're kind of straight into that next line. Okay, so into the first tricky bit with the piano. Now I found this really tricky to synchronize with the backing track because I noticed on the piano part at bar 29, when you start your semiquavers, the piano has actually got a rest on that first quaver. So you're never quite sure. It was really hard to pick up on like my 4 semiquavers matching with those 2 quavers at the end of that bar. So the piano joins you on the second and third quaver there, so it is a little bit just disorientating a little bit, but you kind of get into the feel like whether you're with the piano or not, like the bar after and the bar after that. And then you've got an immediate subito piano, so piano sub, so straight back to piano again. So you've done your fortissimo, big sound, Might want to take a little breath there. I noticed on the ABRSM accompaniment there was actually kind of a breath in the accompaniment there, so I kind of marked that on and took that breath with the accompaniment. Otherwise, again, I just sort of got out with the backing track. So da 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 dum, da da da. So there's a natural kind of just a little breath just at that moment, and then piano subito. So let's talk about the difficulty of this as well, the tempo. Now it says dotted crotchet equals 80. Now, if you've tried to play along with the backing track, the ABRSM download, it is a hell of a fast thing. It's insanely fast. So I've slowed it down to what I think is a reasonable tempo for grade 5, and also a reasonable tempo that I could actually follow through my earphones and play along with. And just a note on the tempo as well, on that opening line, just don't fall into the trap of playing that first line too fast, because it will definitely stitch you up later in the piece if you do that. So just find a tempo that works, and just be really careful to set that out in the opening line. Okay, so let's go 41. Oh yeah, I've got a few tips here. So got to watch that those fingers come up, you know, really nice and evenly there, haven't you? I think the trick for this one is listen to that underneath line. So tongue those notes, make sure you've got that in there, aim for those notes, and then just kind of treat the upper note as a slightly lighter note. So you should be able to hear that in there. So if you're struggling with that passage, that might just help you sort of get some definition into it and find a way of kind of making sense of it all. And then those intervals. Oh, sorry, wrong note. A to C there. Also, one of the other things that I noticed on this piece, just be really careful with, is if you notice in the piano part, in the first like 8 bars, you got dee da dum, dee da dum, dee da. It's all nice and cozy. You can follow that nice and easily. But then from 41 onwards, it's like da da dee da da dee da da. So the upper note is on like the second beat of the bar. So be really careful of that. If you listen to it too much when you're trying to play your da 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 dum, if you listen to that too much, it can really put you off. So just be careful, be conscious of that, and don't think you're in the wrong place just because you hear the upper note in a different place. It's a little bit, it's just one of the quirks of the piece, I think. And moving on, so we've got an 8 bars rest. Always good to have a little break in the middle of the piece, I think, when you're doing an exam piece. And then we're back to ideas that we've played before. Actually, back to the opening theme, aren't we? With just a slight variation there with the semiquavers. Be careful with that, it's not chromatic. You kind of want it to be chromatic. Da 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 da. So there's no F sharp there. Now be careful with this bit at 97. I think this is awkward for any clarinet player, depending on how fast you're playing it, of course. But definitely do the tonguing at the start of each bar here, because I think it will just help you out a bit. So as you go back down to the A, that is quite tricky. So don't try and slur down to the A, because it makes it even harder. So make sure you tongue that A, and it will just give you that split second of definition. Let's play that again. That's quite awkward, that's quite tricky. And then we've got the accelerando, and notice on the accompaniment on the backing track, the accelerando goes like the clappers. It leaves you behind if you're not careful. And last line there, again, it's not chromatic, is it? You kind of want it to be chromatic, but it's... Ooh, so you've got to watch that tone there. So F sharp to G sharp, not F sharp, G, G sharp. So tricky. 1, 2. So closing advice for this piece, don't panic. Whatever you do, don't start the piece too fast, because you will stitch yourself up on this one if you're not careful. Don't let it get all out of whack. Make sure you practice it really carefully. I have uploaded 2 different speeds that you can play along with. So use that, use the slower version to help you sort of stay on track, and then by all means have a go and play it at the speed that I played it at. So find a speed that you're comfortable and make sure you stick to it. Stick to your guns and don't let it run away with you. And of course, if you've enjoyed the tutorial, then of course support the channel by clicking that like button. Let me know how you're getting on with the piece in the comments section. My web address is also in the description as well if you want to contact me regarding lessons or any advice or anything like that. But have a go at the accompaniment now yourself and see if you can get it really in time. Best of luck with this one. I'll see you on the next video. Bye. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3.